If there is a lot of things that I have to figure out to get in somewhere, I'm probably out. I'm going to be 100.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
I'm probably out. But the way the tech is set up is just so smooth.
Yeah.
Too smooth sometimes, but on the flip side of there, the ability to sneak in a bet last second, because you see a warm up somebody's having on NFL Network or something, it's like boom, 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 it's not going to shut down. It's just the way you guys have built that thing is so smart. And how, whenever you go about opening in new states, right? Because there's what, 5 now? 5 states are legalized. And there's going to be a lot more, I think, within.
Might be 5 new ones between now and the end of the year.
Oh, Mr. King.
So before, whenever I was talking, I was like, I'm privy to some information that I'm not sure I'm allowed to be breaking, so I'm not going to say it anymore. But you just said it. So they're going to double the size potentially by the end of 2020, and then 2021, I assume, with the amount of money that states are making, they're going to see that and it's only going to generate even more, right?
That's our hope. So you got Michigan, Illinois, Virginia, Tennessee,
Coming on.
all potentially coming online.
Let's go. That is big news.
Yeah.
When it comes to sports gambling, whenever you're talking and learning about states that are coming on board, what are those conversations like? Because what I've learned through this process is everybody gets their license. Is it a license, I think is what it's called, or something like that? Everybody gets their license at different times. How does that whole process go? Because I understand that this is new for the government too, right? So I assume every government is trying to figure it out as well, and then you guys have to navigate the entire process. How does that whole work? Are you unveiling in different states?
So it's a great question. So you got 2 things going on. Typically, most states will have some level of licensing framework from casinos. Right, so you have a bunch of people that know how to operate brick and mortar casinos and license them, and they rock up and they say, here is the 100-page personal application that you and 10 other people on your board need to file. So,
Hey, I've had to do a lot of those too, by the way. I've had to do some fingerprints. I've had to do the entire thing.
Our application in one state, collectively for the company and all the individuals, was 80,000 pages.
Jesus.
So
I did not have to ever do that. That is insane.
Yeah, it gets crazy. Like I haven't had to think up my college address in a really long time. And not only do they want to know my college address, but they also want to know who's your landlord. I'm like, I don't remember who my landlord is. And then the other thing though, which is interesting in a lot of states, is for a lot of states, this is the first online product they've ever had. And so all of their casinos have been brick and mortar, and they're trying to figure out how do you regulate an online product for the first time and do it in a way that's safe for consumers. And so a lot of what we do is education, right? It's a lot of talking about here's how online sports betting is actually more easy to track what people are doing, both from a responsible gaming perspective, from a know your customer perspective, and how there's a lot of advantages to it. And so we're typically heavily involved, not just in getting licensed, but also in education, and then helping take what works in other states and bring that to whatever the new state is.
So not only educating the regulators, I think educating the normal people who didn't have Italian friends on sports gambling is a. No, I don't want to say you guys cornered the market.
No, we
big
did.
Bookies. No, there's a lot of movies about Irish people writing books. Right?
Yeah, that's
So
right.
I have a little respect.
Just not as well.
There's movies about
Tony.
them. There's movies about them.
Math is hard.
It is difficult. I couldn't even fathom 80,000 page going through that thing. No way.
thanks.
Happy you're doing it. So educating people, I think, on gambling is a rather big, important part of the FanDuel, like, I don't want to say motto, but like a lot of the goal is like, hey, we got to educate people that this is regulated, like this is fair, this is easy, this is safe, this is everything like that. Because for a long time, the image of sports gambling has always been to behind in the alley, do this, bet. And now it's like with the way you guys are, the way it's marketed, how easy it is, refunding people with money, doing these fun campaigns. It's like, I think it's almost rebranding sports gambling at this point.
So that's the latter part is the difference, right? The interesting thing is illegal sports betting is so ubiquitous that you actually. Yeah, sorry.
I am going to try to use context clues here to figure out what the fuck
So-
that
I can't even understand them.
So commonplace.
got it. Ubiquitous.
Is so commonplace that most people actually do trust it, right? Like, because they're like, oh, I've known my bookie for 20 years and I've done it. So like, it's interesting because the trust aspect isn't there. Like, and frankly, in a lot of ways, particularly in the early days, the education part isn't huge. Like when we launched our first facilities, we spent a lot of time on like, how are we going to teach people to read odds? This will be new. Guy walks up, first customer at the Meadowlands Sportsbook in New Jersey was like, I'd like to put a 5-leg parlay down on this, and this. And you're like, You've clearly done this before. So we quickly pivoted from like educational programs to T-shirts that said "break up with your bookie," because like we realized that like that was actually the bigger thing to do. But what's different is the promotionality, is the idea of we're not your adversary. We're here to be generous and to make a fun experience. Yeah, we earn some revenue over time, but the reality is you get hours of enjoyment out of the products that we deliver and stuff like the Super Bowl or Spread the Love. At the core, we just want them to be fun.
Hey, that Super Bowl heads, what was it, heads, I think? No, we did a coin toss, literally flipped the coin 10 times.
Yeah.
And then got a boost on that, and then the winner as well.
Yes.
And that thing hit. I mean, I hit very hard on fan. I thought it was potentially going to drive you guys away because of how hot we were last year. But man, it's fucking awesome, Matt. I just want to let you know that. We're very, very thankful. You're not allowed to say that whenever we get back to radio here in like 30 seconds because I know you've been itching to drop a fuck bomb.
Calm down.
But I have gotten that feedback. I do say it too much.
Whenever sports gambling, what is like the 5 years from you? How long do you think until every state has online sportsbook? Now, this is going to be a tough question. You're probably not even allowed to give this answer. And how long do you think until every state has fully embraced it? Because I thought about this with marijuana. When the amount of money that Colorado made with marijuana, I was like, okay, every state is going to pick this up within the next day or two. Turns out that's not how it worked out. There's people still not seeing that as a financial gain potential. But for sports gambling, it feels like there's been a lot more. Indiana, by the way, is slow on everything. I mean, we didn't even have beer sales in Sunday 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I think whenever they saw around, they're like, okay, this is something we can get behind, especially if it's regulated and we're going to do it. How long do you think until all 50 states are on board with sportsbook apps and FanDuel being allowed to be used there?
I don't think you ever have every state with sports betting.
Really?
Yeah. If you look at like casino gaming, there's only like 33 or 35 states that have casino gaming. And so you just have states that don't like gaming, and that's okay. Like it's sad because you'll still have an illegal market, right? You'll still have a lot of activity that's going on in kind of the dark arts. But the reality is, you're going to end up in a place where more than half the country has in the next 5 years.
Jeez, I'm pumped about that.
Love that.
That is great news.
Love it.
Who are the states that aren't going to get it? Like, are Montanimals up there in Montana probably not going to get it? Like, what states do you think won't get it? The people with more casinos? So, because the casinos people will be in charge more?
Casinos want it. So, generally speaking, if it's a state with casino gaming, they're going to have some form of sports betting. I think the exceptions, what you really, though, care about is online, right? If you don't have online, it's a really small market, and you don't put the illegal market out of business. So, really what the three big hitters are going to be California, Texas, and Florida, right? So which of those three or do all three of those end up with it? That'll be the big needle mover.
Hey, a lot of humans over there in California.
There are.
Also, potentially a lot of COVID-19 going on in those states.
Is New York State?
No.
New York State does not have it, but that will definitely also be that's kind of the fourth of the big four.
We would land in Teterboro, New Jersey, Sundays, and we would head right to, oh my God. And as soon as we get through the tunnel, it would cut off immediately.
Yep.
It's, the tech, it really is amazing how as soon as you get into uncharted or unregulated states, it just cuts off immediately.
Yep.
That was a Sunday night ritual. It was like, all right, let's get them all in here. Oh my God, who's playing? Oh, they're going to throw. Oh yeah, let's do this. Oh, he's going to throw for more than that. Of course. And then as soon as you see like a lock, you're like, I'm going to put that in, then bang, you're in the tunnel, can't make it. It's like, damn it. Can you not get on the same page here in New York and New Jersey?